is up, bros?
Well, it echoes in here.
It does.
The weather outside is frightful.
It's like 4 below right now. We're inside.
It's either hot or it's cold.
It's hot or it's cold. It never wins in Atlanta. Welcome back to another episode of Porch Time. My name is Brian.
I'm West Coast.
This is my lovely co-host from the left coast, aka West Coast. It's been a minute since we've chatted last. Last time we talked to you guys, I believe it was our Celebrating Freedom event. Really, really cool time together. If you didn't see it online, it's now online. If you didn't watch it live or you weren't there, you can watch it live.
When you're sitting around and you got nothing but to do, it's like 2 hours long and
dial it up.
Dial it up.
It was a really good night. Hope you guys had a great Black Friday and a great Cyber Monday.
Tomorrow's Giving Tuesday.
Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, and what is that about?
We're just gonna. It's a time for the whole world to just give instead of buy.
To give instead
Get
of
rid
buy.
of commercialism and just give.
You would think we would put Giving Tuesday before, like, the Black Friday, because it seems like Giving Tuesday is like, hey, here's your leftovers.
There you go.
That's really weird.
But we're gonna give them something.
That's another video.
We're gonna give you guys something.
So, I've been digging a lot in Exodus lately. I'm fascinated by that story. So much of the New Testament theology is built around that event in history. And I was struck by something the other day. And again, I've read this hundreds of times. And if you've been around church any length of time, you probably have too. But in Exodus 13, listen to the account. It says, when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them by the way of the Philistines, although that was near. And here's why he didn't do it. He said, lest the people change their minds when they see war and return to Egypt. So everybody in that caravan of people, after they had just witnessed the miraculous movement of God, would have looked and said, that's the road to go down. And God goes, no, I can see what you can't. And if you see what I've already seen, fear will overtake you, anxiety will overtake you, and your desire is going to be to go back to slavery where I have just delivered you from. And so growing up, I always thought of salvation as just this kind of one-time event, and everything was supposed to get better after that event. And the problem was, I struggled after my salvation experience and found myself questioning a lot about not only my salvation, but about God's goodness and providence in my life. And so it just dawned on me. So there was the Exodus plus the 40 years before God led them into the promised land. There was an event plus the process. An event and the process. And for a lot of us, we forget about the process of our sanctification, right? So there's the event of our salvation, and in that moment, our justification is sealed. Our righteousness is sealed. Our adoption, permanently sealed. But we forget this thing called sanctification, and it causes a lot of us, especially in this setting here at HopeQuest, to question whether or not we even belong to Jesus. And I look at a lot of these guys, and we sit in this room and on this porch, and we go, man, show me in Scripture where it says you meet Jesus and then you stop sinning. That makes no sense. There is a process involved of God maturing us, and I hope that I'm more like Jesus today than I was in the event when He saved me. But the crazy thing is, a lot of us aren't as comfortable with the length of time involved for our sanctification. It is a lifelong journey, and I think especially in our recovery journey.
Well, especially when you keep repeating the same things over and over again. Like, when am I going to stop doing this?
But is that not what the Israelites did for 40 years? They wandered in circles, time after time after 40 years. And we just kind of read it in a chapter and go, oh, that was a crazy story. And I'm going, 40 years is what God's people, God's chosen people who had just seen the miracles of the Exodus, were still screwing up and still blowing it. And I think I'm more like them than I care to admit. And so as you think about your own recovery journey, I just want to encourage you to be patient. And just like God led His people for those 40 years in the desert that made no sense to them, He's leading you and I too. He's leading all of us, and God's timing is seldom ours. And it just, I probably would have been the guy that Moses choked out in the Exodus story, because I'd have been complaining, going, no, this don't make sense. Why are we still out here?
You do a good job of complaining.
Yeah, it's like, why are we still here? Why are we still going through this? Why are we still in the desert? And God knew what He was doing. And we're back.
And we're back. We
And
just
we're
had a
back.
little minor interruption, but here we are.
Yeah, we're back now. So anyways, I don't know where that lands with you guys today, but as you step into the holiday season, and for some reason for me, shame seems to find its way back into my world during the holidays, and I don't know why that is.
We keep bumping into our families.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I just witnessed
Yeah.
at Thanksgiving, my wife's brother, oldest brother, comes to town. He's here. And there's something about when we get in our families of origin that we put on, this was my role that I played, this is my mask I hide behind. And I watched painfully as he became that 12-year-old boy, and this guy's like 65 years old.
Yeah.
And it was just the most narcissistic, pompous jerk you could see. And inside I just wanted to tell him what was wrong, because I worked on that, so everybody should work on that.
Everybody, yeah.
But that's, I think, why the holidays are so painful for us, because we're with our families of origin, and all that stuff comes flooding back to us.
Yeah.
And we just...
Yeah, so I know that the holidays can be tough for a lot of us, and I pray that over this next several weeks, gratitude would have the final word.
Amen.
And that grace would be the fuel that you keep in the tank. Do families drive you bonkers? Yeah, I've got some crazy ones too, and that's why God invented boundaries. Yeah. Anyways, is there, what else are we supposed to tell them? We'll give you a tour too. I don't know if you've noticed, you might recognize the wall behind us. It's been, what do they call it, schmeared?
Schmear.
Some
German schmear.
Some Pinterest word that
German
I don't know. They're painting guys, or we can see all the painters out here. We'll give you a tour next time we catch up with you. There's been a lot of renovation, a lot of stuff that's different as we're looking at, but you can't see it now, but we can.
Yeah.
But you'll see it next time.
Yep.
On Porch Time with Pastor B. Bye!
Bye.